Namaste, my friends. Another yoga session, another powerful practice. Excuse my cough. Um, yeah, this practice was really deep. I got pretty mental inside it and pretty pretty thoughtful in my practice. And the first thing that I was noticing is how I began was I started doing a root lock on the inhale, ab lock on the exhale. So I started very physical and I was trying to train my root muscle, my pelvic floor muscles to be stronger and to get better. And one thing I noticed is that if you don't train that muscle intentionally and squeeze it intentionally, it's like you can't train it just as a byproduct. Like if you do squats, you'll train like all your major leg muscles, you'll train like your back, your abs, or even if you're just doing, yeah, chair pose, it's like all the muscles in your legs and like your back and your abs, like they'll be activated, your hips, but your root muscles won't be activated. It's like even though it's literally using that area, um, it's just not activated at all. And I could tell because in chair pose, let's say, my thighs are already tight. I mean, they're already squeezing. So if I begin to squeeze, I'm like squeezing, starting at 80% and like squeezing it to as much as I can. And it's not a big difference, being in chair pose and then squeezing my thighs a lot. It's like it's already engaged, it's already active. But when you go to the root muscle, it's like it's slack. It's not even contributing anything, and you squeeze it from like 0 to 100, you know. And so it's like this muscle that you need to intentionally train. You need to intentionally squeeze every fiber. It doesn't happen on its own. And that was like pretty powerful because it started to get me thinking, or not even thinking, but experiencing in my yoga, as I'm like just squeezing on my inhales, squeezing my abs on my exhales. I just saw how my intention influenced not only my pelvic floor muscle, but my mind as well. It's like when I would get distracted, it's like I'm not squeezing that mind muscle of intentionally being present and doing what I'm doing. Because when I get distracted, it's like my mind, like I lose my intentional being and my mind just like jumps to a thought or idea. Um, and then it's like when I come back, I regain that intentionalness, that ability to intentionally be like, this is what I'm going to focus on. And I'm squeezing that muscle of intention, a mental muscle of intention. And I was feeling that whenever I wasn't squeezing my mental muscle of intention, like energy is being lost and energy isn't being utilized at the highest level in my conscious awareness. It's like when I was super focused and like super intentional with my breath and my pelvic floor muscle and like just super aware and there. It was like energy was bountiful and I was gaining energy. And it's like I wasn't losing anything, but like when I was distracted, it's sort of like that energy gets released, right? That consistent, I mean, that energy, that prana just goes away and it's like a leakage. Energy is leaking out and it's not being utilized fully. So it was like intention is very important in not just in yoga, in life. If you do anything intentionally, that's what makes us human. Our intentional ability to act upon the world, because animals can act upon the world. They can move around, they can move things, they can do things. They're alive and they have a body and they got a mind and they move around and they interact with the world and existence. And we basically have the same mechanism. We have a body, a mind. Yeah, it's different, and just like every animal is different from every other animal, so we have our unique way. But what makes us the most unique is that we have intention, we have thought, we have. Okay, I think animals might think, even if it's not the way we might think thinking is. But our what separates us is our ability to have conscious intention and our ability to actively and consciously choose what to do, how to do it, when to do it, and basically that's what makes us special. And it's like was really interesting to see in my practice how intention just transformed my consciousness and how it is the key to transforming consciousness. If you don't do anything intentionally, especially the practice, yoga, meditation, whatever the practice may be, if you do not aren't doing it intentionally and fully with every moment, every movement, every freaking second of every time that you are doing that, it's there's you're not making the best use of it basically. I don't like being negative, but that's just what I noticed in myself. And I had lots of distractions, but it was also like this the distractions are an opportunity to strengthen that muscle and to flex the muscle of empathy and sympathy inside yourself and understanding and wisdom, while fully knowing that you're supposed to be intentionally focused on your breath. And for me in this practice, my breath as well as my root lock and my ab lock. So it's like always bringing yourself back, coming back, coming back. You go away. You don't get mad when you're distracted and you're like over there somewhere. You just come back. You come back. You come back, and that's it. So intention is really important, and that's like the best way. And like one thought I was having is how to go about my whole day, just being intentional as fuck. Like just being the most intentional as I could be. That's gonna be my goal today. I'm gonna be just as intentional as I could be, seeing where I am normally and just trying to do as many things with intention as I can. That will be all for today. Namaste, my friends. I will see y'all tomorrow.